Today let's enjoy an Indian movie called SANAM TERI KASAM. A leading lawyer, Indar, is congratulated by everyone at the beginning of the movie, since he has won a significant case. He grabs a bottle of champagne and stands in front of a large tree, moving away from everyone and all the congratulations messages. In a flashback we see him feeding a hungry cat. Suddenly we hear the sound of a girl singing. That is a librarian by the name Saraswati, the female lead, and good-looking men avoid her because of her simple appearance. Her parents try to match her with a husband who has a good job and can take care of her, but they are never successful. Saru's sister Kaveri wants to marry her love Sanjay, but according to their culture the elder sister must be married first. That is why she cries over the phone begging for Sanjay to wait for her a little longer. Saraswati wants to get a makeover, so she visits her neighbor Indar and asks him for assistance because his girlfriend is a well-known stylist. When his girlfriend overhears them talking, she assumes that Indar is cheating on her. As a result, she quickly reacts by throwing a glass bottle at Saraswati, hitting Indar in the process. Indar is helped by Saraswati in getting medical care, and she also directs him to his flat. A security guard informs her father of this incident and charges her with adultery. Her father rushes to Indar's house and sees them together. This really shocked him. Unfortunately, he agrees with the security guard's accusations and disowned her out of rage. After this, Saraswati promises to fulfill her parents' dreams by finding a good spouse for herself. When she couldn't arrange for money to rent a house, Indar visits her workplace and gives her keys to an empty apartment. The following day they went to buy vegetables and other things needed in the house. Later Saraswati drinks an intoxicated drink that Indar ordered for himself and she gets out of control and begins acting strangely. She also sings and dances while Indar is there taking care of her. In the following scene Saraswati sees a man drop his wallet and a beggar picks it. When Indar looks inside the wallet he throws at the beggar and goes away in anger. Anyways, Saraswati returns the wallet to its owner. When she asked Indar why he threw the wallet he pushes her away and leaves from there. Later Indar feels guilty and he goes to Saru's apartment, but she wasn't there. He went looking for her in the library but eventually he found her at a bus station. He apologizes and she hugs him. Unfortunately her father sees them hugging. On their way home Saraswati tells him that she knew the wallet belonged to his father. After this Indar reveals that he hates his father so much that is why he threw the wallet at the beggar. Indar asks her if there is any way her father can forgive her, but the only way is if she marries a man belonging to their tribe. She also thinks she looks ugly and no one wants to marry her. He takes her to a stylist who gives her a great makeover that changes her appearance. She thinks her family would be happy to see her like this, so he decided to take her to their house. Unfortunately Saraswati sees her father performing a ritual in which she was considered dead. She runs outside crying painfully, and declares that she is not a loser and one day when she marries a good husband, her father will hug her and bless her. She goes back to her work wearing modern clothes. Everyone stares at her, even Abhimanyu notices her and compliments her look. Saraswati didn't report to work on 2 consecutive days because she had flu, but Abhimanyu kept on asking for her whereabouts. Finally when she returned he asked her for a date and even told her that he wanted to marry her. This made Saru extremely happy that she wasn't able to pick up Indar's phone call. In the following scene we see Saru and Abhimanyu on a date. They were happy together but Indar was heartbroken since he also had feelings for her. One day Indar asks her what happened to her hand. Saru tells him that she is going to Turkey for their honeymoon, so she had to undergo blood test for the visa. Soon she gives him her wedding card before he departs. He sees Saru's father in a car and gives him the wedding card, but the father didn't show any interest and he threw the card away. On the wedding day Saru arrived at the marriage court with Indar. She waits for Abhimanyu but he doesn't show up. She took a taxi and went to Abhimanyu's house. He invites her inside but his father interrupts them claiming that he doesn't want a disowned daughter-in-law. She departs extremely upset and makes her way to the hotel they booked for their honeymoon. As relief she begs Indar to make out with her and he hesitantly agrees. Indar finds Saraswati gone the following morning and sees her hugging Abhimanyu. He experiences heartbreak and ends up falling into depression. He goes to his house and packs his bags planning to leave the city. Later on, Saru's mother comes to Indar's house and informs him that Saru's sister Kaveri is getting married. She asks him to give Saraswati the wedding card. Indar went to the library where Saru worked but he didn't find her there. So he went to Abhimanyu's office where he finds out that Saru has left without leaving any message behind and no one knows where she is. He looked for her everywhere and after tracking down Saru's phone he finds her in a Buddhist temple. She orders him to get out and says she doesn't love him and that she was using him to get over Abhimanyu. After departing tearfully, he returns to deliver Kaveri's wedding invitation and upon observing her tears, he declares his love for her. She collapses and is rushed to the hospital where Indar learns that the brain tumor she has is incurable. The doctor also told him that her fiancé already knew about her disease. Furious Indar went to Abhimanyu and punched him, saying that he broke up with her due to the illness. Abhimanyu revealed how he got to know about her tumor. He also tells him that after the breakup he proposed to her the second time but she refused. In addition, she told him not to tell Indar about her illness. Later, she wakes up and Indar takes her into a very disorganized room. He shows her how Kaveri's wedding is happening. She also sees how her father is happy and this makes her overjoyed. Indar proposes to her but she assumed that he doesn't love her and he is only sympathizing with her. After this she was once again inside the hospital. Later on that day Indar violently enters the house of Saru's parents and orders them to stop acting as though their daughter is dead. Saru's father called the police and he also slapped Indar before he left. The following day, Indar is on top of a building where he is surrounded with empty alcohol bottles when the police arrive and take him into custody. While at the police station Indar begs the officer to let him make a phone call but he is unsuccessful. Meanwhile Saraswati is released from the hospital. She waits for Indar to pick her but he doesn't show up. She goes to the library where she finds the hidden messages that Indar left for her in the books that he used to borrow. Meanwhile an officer was about to put Indar behind bars but he manages to escape. The officers chase him and when he is caught he starts to fight them. Soon the inspector sees how desperately he wants to meet with Saraswati so he agrees to let him go. He is driven in the police car to the library where he begins looking for her. When they finally meet, Saraswati asks him why he never told her that he had feelings for her. She invites him to marry her and he happily agreed as they embrace each other. That night Saraswati tells him she wants to be buried under a tree so that anyone who comes to her burial will be showered with flowers. When she falls asleep, Indar visits her parents' home yet again. He points a gun at her father and threatens him saying that he can kill or die for Saru's sake. He announces their engagement before leaving. The following day Indar and Saraswati arrived at the marriage court for their wedding and the inspector was their only witness. They were happily taking their wedding vows when all over sudden Saru's parents arrive at the marriage court. Saraswati hugs her father and begs him to agree to the marriage. Finally the father accepts that Indar is the best husband for his daughter so he forgave Saraswati and blessed their marriage. Shortly after signing the marriage certificate, she fainted and was rushed to the hospital. Her family is informed that she would pass away very soon. Indar leaves for his father's house. Although he despises his father, he begs him so that he can buy the tree in his garden for Saru's burial. He leaves when his father misunderstands him after seeing blood on his shirt. He comes back to his wife and tells her why he hates his father. He revealed how he was arrested for many years and his father failed to save him even though he was the best lawyer in the whole country. She begs him to forgive his father and asks him to come closer to her. While dying in his arms, Saraswati tells him that she loves him a lot. After her death her family was very sad, and Indar walks away in shock. His father also arrives at the hospital and tells Indar that he will take his daughter-in-law to the best doctor in the world. Sadly, Indar informs him of his wife's death. This breaks the father's heart. He finally gives him a hug and apologizes. Indar is pictured in the closing scene standing close to the tree that marks Saru's burial. He admits that he has stopped drinking and says that she must be pleased to see him successful. He also says that he misses her a lot. When a background song begins to play among the falling flowers, Indar expresses his everlasting love for her. Thanks for watching and please subscribe to Movie Retold channel.